live. Welcome back to the One Celtic Fans View. Make sure that you give this video a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and get as many people on as possible. It is Tuesday evening. The Champions League draw is days away. The end of the transfer window is days away. The Rangers game is days away. And as it stands just now, we are not better off than we were last season. Let's be perfectly honest about this. I'm just trying to get Sky Sports on. Sky Sports News. There we go. It's not a good position to be in. Let's be perfectly honest. Matt O'Reilly left Celtic and walked right into the Brighton team that starts tonight. And we'll see how busy the live's going to be tonight because there are games on. But it is what it is. We've got transfer talk to talk about. We've got Mikey Johnson to talk about. We've got Brendan Rodgers to talk about. And we've got Peter Lawwell. Yes, Peter Lawwell to talk about this evening. Because on Sunday, Peter Lawwell told fans that were at the game who questioned Celtic's transfer policy to calm down. To calm down. Peter Lawwell told people to calm down on Sunday. We're now on Tuesday evening. We've sold this week Matt O'Reilly and Mikey Johnston this week, and we've not brought any new players in. Leader can say is calm the fuck down. I fucking swore already. Fuck it. That's the mood that I'm in. I'm not confident going into the later end of this transfer. I was confident last week. I was confident after listening to Brendan Rodgers. I think that Brendan Rodgers wants the best for Celtic. And I think Brendan Rodgers, as it stands just now, I think Brendan Rodgers has been let down massively by the club. Massively. And I mean that in no uncertain terms, but at all. I think Brendan Rodgers has been massively let down this summer. We go into the last couple of days of the transfer window, and we have offloaded fantastic amount of players. We've made a fantastic amount of money this transfer window. But we're left kicking around with days to go. Lorna, I'd like to keep the faith. When it's come out tonight that, well, listen, we know that we're not going for Owen Beck. We know that one's not going to happen. We're going to go for a loan deal rather than try and get Owen Beck. Now, it turns out that Liverpool have let Owen Beck join Blackburn Rovers on a season-long loan, which has ended the speculation that he's going to move to Celtic. We all know that he wasn't coming to Celtic because Celtic are going after a left-back from Barcelona on loan. We've known that we needed a left-back for over 2 years. We've known since Ange Postecoglou was here that we needed a left-back that could give Greg Taylor a run for his money. We brought in a player from Argentina, and that didn't work out. It's Tuesday evening, people. There's still been no announcement from Celtic whatsoever. Let's go into the Celtic Twitter feeds. And Celtic haven't even mentioned the fact on Twitter, anyway, that Mikey Johnson has left the building. Yesterday, they confirmed that Matt has left the building. Today, they mentioned that Gustav Lagerbielke has left on loan. But people say, calm down, it'll be fine. Yes, it'll be fucking rosy in the garden. Let's be realistic. It's a shit show. I'm not going to try and butter it up. I'm not going to try and back the board. Back Brendan Rodgers and back the friggin' team. This is disgraceful the way that we've went into the final few days. And talking about trying to get back odds on Edward that's done absolutely nothing. It's just paper talk and someone on Celtic trying to have a massive deflection on what's really going on in the back room of Celtic. We need answers. This is not acceptable. Brendan Rodgers has said we are a big club. We have a big stadium. We have a big fan base. We have a big financial clout. We do not act like a big club. We're scurrying around at the end of the transfer window trying to pick up bargain basements, and it's not acceptable. We've known for over 2 months Matt O'Reilly was getting sold. We've known since last season that Mikey Johnston wanted out of Celtic. We've let him go for $2.5 million. We're at the end of the window. What happened to this new Celtic? Think back just 3 seasons ago when it was a new day and a new dawn, and Celtic fans were relieved that Peter Lawwell wasn't in the building, and it was going to be a brand new Celtic, a new way of doing business, a new way of doing transfers. It was going to be exciting. We were building for Europe. There was a lot of positivity. The positivity that walked in the door when Ange Postecoglou walked in the door has left the building. And when you get Peter Lawwell swanning about at away games, telling people to calm down, I'm sorry, Peter, but we've had our run-ins over the years. But your time has come. You're a dinosaur. Celtic are run by dinosaurs. You can say, and to the people that say on this channel, don't knock the Celtic board. They've done a financial job. They've done a fantastic job in the way that Celtic have been run over the years. Are you fucking having a laugh? We are days away from the end of the transfer window. We're scurrying about to get a left back on loan. We're scurrying about to try and get 2 midfield players in when we knew Matt O'Reilly was leaving Celtic 2 months ago. The PLC knew that the deal was going to happen, but we didn't get players in. We're trying to get a winger in. We've lost out on numerous players over the summer. We're trying to get a player in. We're trying to convince a player. We're trying to convince a team, Sheffield Wednesday, to sell as a player with 2 days to go in the transfer window. This is not a board and a PLC that is all optimistic and going out there and getting the finest players and bringing them in and making us such a force to be reckoned with, not only in Scottish football, but in European football. Are you seriously happy with just beating Rangers next week and everything will be fine? No, I am not. If we beat Rangers next week, it papers over the cracks. It puts us 5 points ahead at the top of the table, and it papers over the cracks. And the board will say, oh, look, we've got a couple of players in. Brendan Rodgers will say, it's been a difficult window. Bloody, fucking blah. We've been here before. And I called this out months ago. And I was told to shut the F up. We've got 2 months to go in the transfer window. We've got days to go in the transfer window. And as a squad, we are decimated. Absolutely decimated. And you'll say, but the players had to go. These players weren't good enough. These players that have left Celtic weren't Celtic players. They couldn't play for Celtic. Where are the players that can play for them? Because as it stands just now, we haven't brought them in. Haven't brought them in one bit. Anyway. We all want the best for the club. I want the best for the club. I know that a lot of people that watch this channel want the best for the club. I would love to sit down with Brendan Rodgers and have a real heart-to-heart with him. I would love it. Absolutely love it. And I tell you one thing, one day it's going to happen. One day I'm going to sit down with Brendan and go, just go and tell us the truth, Brendan. Just tell us the truth. Just tell us the truth of exactly what the hell held us back. Name names. We all know who they are, but you can't see it. It's like, yeah, the fucking board are, oh, look at the money we've got in the bank. Look at the way, would you rather be Rangers? Oh, fucking hell, man. Would you rather be Rangers? They went burst. Stick your fucking Sevco Rangers love up your fucking arse. Beating them 4 times a season is not fucking good. Anyway, let's jump into the comment section. Welcome to the One Celtic Fans View. That was a rant and a half for the first 9.50 seconds of the video. And sometimes you just got to tell it as it is. I'm not everyone that knows this channel, and they know that I speak to guys that still run buses, and they are the exact same. They speak the way I speak. And if you don't like it, I wonder whatever happened to that guy in the main stand. Remember the guy in the main stand last year that stood up and had a go at Lowell and Nicholson and everything and was shouting at him? I wonder if he's still in the main stand or if he got banned. Anyway. Transfer deadline day is approaching. And Sky's decided to shut off my Fire Stick. Wait till I reboot the Fire Stick. Until we do that, we jump into the comment section and see what the wonderful people, the wonderful Celtic fans that are all around the world. I, for one, am one of those that appreciate all the Celtic fans around the world. I don't think that Celtic actually appreciates the 60,000 fans that pay their money on a weekly basis, that buy the food that's overpriced, that pay their season ticket up front. I know someone just now that's trying to get in his season ticket money from his club, and it's an unbelievable amount of money that people, working class people like me and you, guys that go to the football every week, that pay into Celtic, we've paid our dues, right? We've paid our dues. We've paid the money into the club already this season. People that have season tickets, and my family still has season tickets. And all we want in return, all we really want in return, is a team that can hold its own, is a board that has the ambition of the fans, is a board that has the ambition of the manager. Now, the manager can laugh all he wants and say, come on, are you, when he's asked, are you going to get any of the 25 million for Matt O'Reilly? Will you be able to invest the full 25 million? The manager can laugh and say, come on, how long have you followed Celtic? But those days are changing. Those days of the board having an easy ride have to change. There was a time where Celts for change actually meant something. There was a time when guys that ran Celts for change actually made things happen and put pressure on the board and brought in real change to Celtic. It seems to me that we have went stagnant. We have went completely stagnant. We have went backwards. There's been many years, many years since 2003 that Celtic have had managed decline. We've reduced the size of the squad. We've reduced the wage bill. Does it sound familiar? Because we've done it that often. We seem to accept it by fans. This is another year. This year, right now, is another year where we're reducing the wage bill. We're reducing the wage bill. We're reducing the size of the playing squad to have a more compact squad, an easier squad to pick from. Not so many players that are project players. So we're reducing everything that way. But we are increasing the profitability of the club. We are increasing the profitability of the club. We've just introduced three strips. And we're just not even 10 games into the season. And we've also introduced Adidas merchandise at crazy prices for the working man, for the working fan, for the working families that take their kids to Celtic, for the mums and dads that save up all year round that do not have season tickets, but their kids want the latest Celtic gear, that are financially struggling just now. Celtic was born out of helping people. Right now, all that Celtic seems to be doing is helping themselves to as much money from the fans as possible and making the club to be one of the most profitable clubs, not only in Scotland, not only in the UK, but in the world. When you look at it, when you look at the profitability of Celtic. And is that what we really signed up for? Is that what Celtic are? It's not the Celtic that I know. It's not the Celtic that I was brought up with. Let's just hope over the next couple of days that this board can they pull rabbits out the hats over the remaining few days of the transfer window? Will it be players of a significant pedigree to get fans back on board? Because as it stands just now, the Celtic board seem to do this at the beginning of every season. We have a togetherness when it comes to the end of the season and we win the league and we win the Scottish Cup. And all's rosy in the garden and everything is perfect. And we're together as a fan base. We fully support the board. And then when it comes to the beginning of the season, just a few months later, it's like the board purposely drives a wedge between the working man and them. Give me your money. Pay for this. Pay for it up front. It's not good, is it? It's not what Celtic were about. But anyway, let's jump into the comment section and see who's all on this evening. My God, where did that come from? Come from the inner souls of my heart. And sometimes it's good to just talk about Celtic the way that you really want to. And I'm not going to be one of these YouTube channels that go, oh, let's talk about fucking this. Let's talk about fucking that. Hey, fucking hell, Peter Law was fucking brilliant. Anyway, Zhead was first in the window. Hail, hail, Baz. The transfer market is hotting up nicely. Yes, it is. But Celtic are still lagging way behind, as far as I'm concerned. Paul's in the house. Desmond Donnelly's in the house. Must say, Baz and Troops from the One Celtic Fans View. The chat was on shit scoreboard tonight. You know who you are. Well handled. Sam Max says, hail, hail. Joseph says, hail, Celtic fans. Mix in the house. Lorna Gallagher's in the house. Hail, hail, Troops. Desmond Donnelly, James, I'm going to jump through a lot of the comments. I apologise. Joseph's in the house, Paul's in the house, Chilpill's in the house, Liz Donnelly, Tamak's in the house, Paul's in the house, Jalen's in the house, Scott Celt 102's in the house, Mike Celt 6788 is in it. Bring on the Sevco. Can't wait to wear my rat up for Sunday. Sunday is irrelevant to me now. Sunday is irrelevant. It is just just another game in the league. I think the most important part of our season has now been brought down to the 3 days. Was this Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday? We've got 3 days left of the transfer window, and we are not in a good position. I don't care what anyone says, and bringing in players this late makes a mockery of everything that Brendan Rodgers said in America. Makes a mockery of everything that Brendan Rodgers said at pre-season training at the beginning of July at Lennoxtown. It makes a mockery of everything. They are making a mockery of our manager in front of our faces, and we have to accept it. The manager's one of us, and I'm not accepting it on behalf of the manager. Not a chance. I'll stand up for our manager, and I'll definitely stand up for him with this shower of shite. Anyway, move on. O'Reilly subbed off, limping off the pitch 9 minutes into the game. Let's hope it's a bad one. Sorry, no, I don't. They aren't even worth 150. Even in Baz, even in Hill Celts, and there's loads of comments. I can't go through all of them. Lanky, Gizo, another rant. Fans need to chill. Players, Lanky, you cannot seriously be happy with it. Right? Lanky, there was only a couple of days ago that you said that we were going to get 5 million. You said, well, we're getting 5 million for a player that we've got 2.5 million for. But we have to be happy about it. I don't care if everything. See if we sign 4 players in the next few days. Are you saying that that's first choice players? Come on. Someone has to stand up for the manager. And see, toeing the line saying everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be okay. Everything's going to be all right. It's fine. Calm the fuck down. Go and go for lunch with fucking Peter Lawwell then. Because I tell you one thing, there's thousands and thousands of Celtic fans that are thinking the exact same way. And it's just not good enough. It's not good enough. It's making a mockery. They have made a mockery of our manager in front of our faces. Try and tell me there's not a split between the board and fucking Brendan Rodgers, and I'll tell you they're lying through their frigging teeth. They're lying through their teeth. Brendan Rodgers will turn around and say, yeah, the backroom staff are doing great. Yeah, they're doing great. Sarcastic as fuck when he's saying it. It's like, yeah, they're doing great. They've done a lot of good work over the summer to try and get players in. Yes. Do you not think Brendan's sitting going, and in reality is going, if I told you what I really think, I'd probably be at a job tomorrow because Peter Lawwell would make sure that was gone. Come on. Let's cut the fucking pish. It's Tuesday. We're days to go. And we're way worse off. Look at the squad. Look at the squad we put up last night. We're way worse off than we were last season. We go into the Glasgow Derby this week, weaker. The squad is weaker than the team that played then last season. But we have to calm down. It's fine. Calm down. You're fucking ranting. Fucking like this fucking 5 pricks ranting. Fucking knob end. Good. Anyway, we've got 18,378. We are trying to get to 18,500 before deadline day. Can we do it? Probably not. We'll probably lose hundreds of subscribers because I don't fall into the Celtic media type. Anyway, let's jump back into the comments and let's start talking real stuff. We still haven't replaced Tierney. That's a scary fact, yes. And Tierney left Celtic in 2019. We better have at least 3 deals done tomorrow, says Paul. James says, Baz, don't take the high ground. You knew this was going to happen. They always fuck about. I'm not taking the high ground. James, I spoke about this back in July. And I was told to calm down then. I was told by people on this channel, calm down, Baz, it's only July. There's plenty of time to go in the transfer window. And there's plenty of time. It's fine. It's fucking sit back, smoke a joint, fucking snort some ching and fucking no that council shit and everything will be fine. Not a chance. Called it out 2 months ago and we're in the same position. In the exact same position that I called out 2 months ago. Anyway, let's jump through the comments. Players are coming in. Go and smoke a banger and chill it, says Leg. I don't smoke weed. I don't smoke anything. Anyway, we have small-minded board. Yes, we do, says Joseph. We are a big club acting like a Sunday League team. Don't say that because the Sunday League team managed to beat the one and only Chelsea and Man City during pre-season. Right, I'm going to jump right through. I'm missing out. Baz, you speak from the heart, says Mick Celtic. Yes, I do. And I've paid my dues and I've got the season tickets behind me. I've got all the money that I've spent on Club Celtic. I've done my time, as they say, and I've got every right as every other fan out there that spends their money. I know guys that go to home and away games still every week. And when the Champions League draw comes out on Thursday at 5 o'clock, they'll be booking flights straight away. They'll be spending their hard-earned cash. They moan about Celtic just as much as me. Just as much. Anyway, Patrick Turner says, hail, boys and girls from Belfast. Ian says, you're spot on, Baz, keep ranting. I think we're over with the ranting now. We need to talk about the speculation and the lack of speculation and the fact that we're slowly losing out player by player by player by player by player. And we're going to get to the end of the window. And Brendan Rodgers, I'll give Brendan his due. Brendan will say, we're in a better position. We've got the dross out the team that weren't good enough. We've brought in players. Okay, they might have been my third choice player. They weren't my first. Brendan will never say that. I'd love to get Brendan on his own and just say, Brendan, just between me and you, he will have to have left Celtic forever to have that to do that interview. And I think once he does, I'm going to speak to guys in Belfast that knows his family and know Brendan, and I'm going to do this interview when he finally leaves Celtic because I think it's an interview where the fans need to know the truth. But let's just hope that this board do the business. It's not going to be his first choice players. We know that. It's too late in the window for his first choice players. We're scrambling about. We're scrambling about. Let's be honest here. We're scrambling about at the end of the transfer window. We're going to bring in a loan player from Barcelona to fight it out with Greg Taylor that's on 10 grand a week more than Greg Taylor. Let's put this into perspective. We've got a loan player that's coming in that's on 10 grand a week more than Greg Taylor. And Greg Taylor's meant to sit there and go, who the fuck is this wee spick? The fuck is this? The fuck? Really? You're paying 24 grand a week for him? Seriously? I've been here for years. Look at my medals. Look at my medals. Look at the time that I've done. Look who I've kept out the team. And you're bringing in some wee guy from Barcelona that's on 10 grand a week more than me. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. But I have to calm down. I have to relax. It's cool. What's the friend's fine. It's cool. It's fine. Anyway, chill pill. Greg will see him off. Watch this space. Greg, chill pill. I fully expect Greg Taylor just to go, fuck, beat it, wee man. I don't care if you're on 24 grand a week. I've been here and done it. And big shout out to Greg Taylor and a big shout out to Jamesy Forrest, who made the Scotland squad today. Jamesy Forrest made the Scotland squad once again, who was not used at the Euros, not once. Don't even get me started on that clown that's a Scotland manager, because then we'll be on here for about 2 hours completely having a rant of the old rants. Anyway, we've not even had a poll tonight because there's nothing to really have a poll about. 24 grand a week is how much am I making a year? Says Michael, exactly. Hi, Baz. You skipped my previous comment. Clyde One was saying that Celtic are waiting for O'Reilly money before bidding for a replacement, allegedly. Well, that's ridiculous. That Clyde, of course, Clyde One are going to say that. Of course, they're going to say that. But we've made bids for the Polish guy at 8.5 million or whatever it is. We've underbid for that. We've also bid for the Polish guy, but we've underbid for that also. So we're going in with low bids to start. It's unbelievable that we're still trying to wheel and deal like fucking Del Boy and Rodney. This is what the board are like. They're like Del Boy and Rodney sitting in the boozer, and they're like, that's all right. That's Trigger's broom. They think it's the same club, but it's not. They think they're going to sell for 150 million, but Dave King says they're not. So don't worry about them. Do you know? They've had 12 shafts and 12 new brush heads, but it's the same club. It's fine. That's what we've got Del Boy and Rodney running the club. That's who Peter Lawwell and Nicholson are. Peter Lawwell was Del Boy, and Michael Nicholson is Rodney Trotter. There, I've said it. I've said it. That's the fuck. Oh my god, Peter. Peter Lawwell's Del Boy and fucking Michael Nicholson's Rodney Trotter. Fucking Jesus. Look, a few years back we signed Paddy Roberts, Jamesy competition. That worked out well. And the same as Greg needs competition to spur him on. Reports for Germany and the US say the offers are around about 3.5. That's Ian. That just it's exactly how I think we all know how the board work. Do you know, rather than just going in and paying the money straight out and getting the players in as quick as we can, they piss about and they piss about. This time next week, this time next year, Rodney, we would be fucking, and Grandad's fucking Dermot Desmond sitting there smoking his friggin' pipe, talking about the black and tans. Dermot Desmond sitting there talking about fighting the black and tans. You've got fucking Peter Lawwell saying this time next year, Rodney, we'll be billionaires going into the Champions League like this. Michael Nicholson's fucking with his puppet string going, yeah, yeah, yes. And meanwhile, the Celtic fans are sitting going, you fucking shower of shite. Oh, anyway, have a poll on Peter hopelessness. Nah, I can't do that. Del Boy and Rodney were livable. Yeah, Del Boy, Lowell's like a fart who won't go away. Oh, that's bad. Lanky, we have offered Asper's 6.5 million today, and we went back with 9 million bids. They're looking for 12 million euros. We didn't go. Lanky, the first bid was not 6.5 million. It was way below. We went into the Germans with a way below offer. It was reported by Sky that we went in with 6.5 million. When you look at what the Germans are saying, we went in way below that. Way below that. Just we can pay the asking price and get the players in that we need. Yep, I would play the new boy from Barcelona if he signs. Yep, you sound like you've got a poll on Baz. Oh dear. Anyway, Zed says Nicholson will be walking about Brendan Rodgers as Davy. Oh Jesus. Anyway, Nicholson is Boise. The used car salesman. Oh Jesus. Nicholson's Boise. So who's Rodney Trotter? Ah, and which and which part does Brendan Rodgers play? Ah, fuck's sake. Uncle Albert. Jesus. Uncle Albert. It's Uncle Albert, wasn't it? Grandad, Uncle Albert. I don't wish any player an injury. Patrick Sattler. Yep. Yeah, Michael Ross has got it in one. Michael always gets his cracking comments. Michael says to you and boy, how many of our squad are good enough for the Champions League? Champions League draws on Thursday. Are you? Let's have a poll. Yeah, right. It's time for the poll. We've got 699 people on. There's been over 2,000 people on. It's time for the poll. It is time for the poll of the evening. Right, there we go. We have the poll. It is ready. Looks like COVID year full of shit. Yeah, it is that. But are you confident? Just doing that. Let me just. There we go. The poll is coming up in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Vote on the question. Are you confident about going into the Champions League draw on Thursday with the current squad? The current squad that is weaker than last season's squad. As we stand, we are weaker than last season. Last season, we got 4 points out of the Champions League. Last season, we were in a position, I thought, personally, to achieve more in the Champions League. But we have lost a lot of the players. 130 votes already, 139, 143. 92% of the poll says no, they are not confident. That, my friends, makes the rant valid. That makes this video completely valid. That makes the rant valid. 170, 167, 164, 169, 170, 171 votes. We've got the votes coming in. Make sure that you vote on the poll. You have to be did I put a subscriber mode on tonight? I can't even remember. No idea if I put subscriber only mode. Make sure to vote on the poll. Are you confident about the squad? Are you confident going into the Champions League draw this week with this squad? No. And some of the comments coming in. Lanky is barking mad. 7 out of best 11, not good enough for the Champions League. Schmeichel, Cameron Carter-Vickers, Johnson, McGregor, Hatate, Kyogo, Bernardo at a push are Champions League quality, says Craig. Got over 209 votes. There's 687 people on the live. Let's see if we can get this vote to 500 votes. So keep on voting. There's 699 people on this. Share the video with your friends. Get them on and get them voting right now. Are you confident about going into the Champions League draw this week with the current squad of players that we have? And if I go on to this, I should be able to pull up the squad list. This is the current squad. This is the current squad. Although they've now lost Mikey Johnson. So we've got one to take off that. Mikey Johnson's to come off that because we lost Mikey Johnson today. So there's another X to go in here. There's a big X to go in beside Mikey Johnson. We've got these goalkeepers. So we're actually one player down less than what is on this squad that is on your screens right now. Is that acceptable? Really? 11% are saying yes. Jesus. The 11% must be Rangers fans or board members. Or must be Huns on here voting yes. I can't even remember if we're subscribers only. I thought I put no, maybe didn't. Let's jump back into the comments. There has been 235 votes with 691. Make sure that you vote on the poll. And then we'll jump to the comment. 23 players is a small squad these days. It is that there's not enough to fit it. Not a chance. Hail says Graham. Just heard that the deal for the left back from Barcelona, Celtic want to split the wages. Honestly, what the fuck is happening in Celtic? Rodgers will walk. Celtic were told that they need to pay the whole 24 grand a week. Celtic are now saying, no, we don't want to pay the 24 grand a week for the player. Celtic pissing about this late stage of the window, whilst players are pissing off to other teams. 247 votes so far. Are you confident about the squad going into the Champions League draw? The current squad that is on your screen. Current squad that is minus Mikey Johnston now because he has left. So I need to update that. 88% said no and 12% say yes. Is it the fact that we're going to be whipping boys in the Champions League this year? There's 705 people on the live right now. Come on, get voting. There's 254 people voting. Get voting on the live right now. Obviously, a lot of people that aren't subscribers on the live right now. I'm going to jump into the Celtic news to see if there's any other breaking stories. Fabrizio Romano have done that one. I mean, the Celtic putting out 3 hours ago, Rio Hatate has been named SPFL Player Team of the Week. Who cares? I don't care if you've been named Team of the Week. Fucking send your birthday card pish somewhere else. Celtic. Jesus God, man. It's Tuesday evening. Fabrizio Romano, what's he saying to it? There's Brighton bought another. Brighton have just bought a left back. Come in, confirmed. Brighton have just brought in Turkish left back. Signs a new Brighton player from Fenerbahce. Well, Celtic are struggling at the end of the transfer. It's embarrassing. It is embarrassing. AC Milan are close to signing a player for 5 million, for under 5 million. Celtic are struggling to buy players at under 5 million. Anthony Joseph, breaking news, Manchester United. So anyway, people will be happy because former Rangers chairman, the investor, Dave King across the road says, we're not getting taken over by US investors. It's not happening, man. It's just not happening. 281 votes, 284, 87% say no. You're not confident about going into the Champions League, and neither we should be, realistically. I back Brendan more than I back this board. I back Brendan because he wants to do the best by Celtic. And Brendan Rodgers wears his heart on his sleeve. Brendan Rodgers has said, look, we need to be acting faster. Everything that Brendan Rodgers said during pre-season has now been thrown back in his face as far as I'm concerned. But anyway, Lanky says our fans are worse than Arsenal fans. And they have a bad reputation for moaning for F all. Lanky's obviously feeling really confident. Lanky, you told us we were getting 5 million for Mikey Johnston. Come on, mate. We've got a right to be complaining about the position we're in. It was you can't be confident that we're going to make this score better going into the Champions League. Surely. I bet you're one of the ones that voted yes. Oh, mate, come on. There's plenty of quality out there. The board needs to be able to finger out. Yes. And an ex-Celtic player said that for the price range that Celtic are looking at, between 5 million and odd, there's a lot of good quality players out there. But we seem reluctant to go out and spend that kind of cash. We seem to see a player and then we want him, and then we go, wait a minute, that deal doesn't actually fit us because we're trying to be the most profitable club in the world. Anyway, just getting in some of the comments. I don't think it's deliberate play by the board not to bring in any player in the last few days. I don't think it's deliberate play by the board to not bring in players. Big Dom, I think it's deliberate play by the board to not act quick enough over the summer. The summer. Is that not a fair shout? Am I being entitled to want to get in players quicker? Because in a couple of days, I'm going to go back all the Celtic interviews with Brendan Rodgers over the period of the summer, where he spoke about transfers and the transfer window. And I'm going to show how the Celtic board are taking the pure piss out of Brendan Rodgers right in front of our eyes. But we've just to accept it. 14% must be on crack. It's 15% now. 324 votes. And 15% said they're confident about going into the Champions League. We're going to achieve things this year. Cheerleaders. 50% said that we're going to do fine in the Champions League. We're going to do better than last season. They're confident with the reduced squad. The reduced squad without Matt O'Reilly. Oh, man. Jesus. Right. Anyway, fuck Matt O'Reilly, says Tom Keegan. It's almost like they don't want to spend money. Yeah, exactly. I beg your pardon, but Celtic fans are most definitely not moaning about nothing. Exactly not. They're not moaning about nothing. And I see it online. And I see it on my Facebook. And I see the text messages that I get for folk. Sat the board, says Michael Ross. Every Champions League win means cash. So why are the board scuppering? We're not having a strong squad, says Scott Celt 102. Celtic had the opportunity this summer to forward think and forward plan, not just for this Champions League, and not just for this summer, and not just for this season. I've said it before that this season is not the big season for Celtic. It is not the season that will be the one that will be remembered. It will be the one that will be remembered because we will go Big shout out to Mitchell Haughey, who's become a One Celtic Fan View member. Big shout out to Michael. Sorry, said Mitchell, says Michael. This season, we'll go ahead along on if we win everything, if we win the treble, which now I'm going to say it, the treble's in doubt. There's a poll for you. Going to cut this one short. It's 352. There's 736 on the live. We're going to end the poll in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The poll is ended. The results are in, and they are. Are you confident going into the Champions League draw this week with this squad? 15% say yes. The fucking yes. Lanky, how many accounts you got? And no was 84%. It was 381 votes. I'm going to do another poll. And the poll is when you YouTube can't count on triple figures, no, I can't. When you look at the current position that we are in, with players sold, with the size of the squad, are you confident in winning a treble this year? Are you confident with the current reduced squad and the lack of players? Has the PLC, has the board put the treble at risk? There's a question for you. 79 votes straight away, 88 votes, 91. Yes, 67. This is going to be one that will split the fans. No, it's 34%. This is an interesting question. Has the PLC put the treble at risk this season by us not having a big enough squad to fight on four fronts? To come back for the Champions League on a Wednesday night or a Tuesday night and then play at the weekend, to play on a Sunday and then play on a Wednesday in the Champions League and then come back to that and then play in the Cup. Will Celtic have enough players on all fronts? Will Celtic have enough players within the squad to be able to deliver a treble this season? A treble is what we probably set out at the start of the season. A treble is what we all wanted at the start of the season. A treble was everything that we expected at the start of the season with the squad we had, and we only needed to bring in 3 or 4 players to make the squad better without reducing the size of the squad. Baz, we still got 1% missing. Yeah, we always get 1% missing, Hank. I actually don't know what's wrong with YouTube. Zhead said Stephen Johnston. Big shout out to Stephen Johnson. But the question is 170 votes, 175 in so far. Has the PLC put a treble at risk this season? The PLC put everything at risk, Baz. Up. How's that? To go off grid again, Baz. Keep up the updates, please, mate. Only get Wi-Fi now and again. Top of the mountains watching you, Desmond Donnelly. No worries, mate. Have a fantastic time up the mountains. Have a fantastic time. Because the rest of the Scottish football is miles off, Baz. The Zombies are hardly serious competition. Let's be honest. They don't even have a house. Craig, it's not about them. Whoa, Baz. You don't need to tell me. Well, you don't need to tell me that you're unsubscribing. I don't really care. You've never unsubscribed anyway. You're still there. You don't need to tell me. You just unsubscribe and fuck off. Unsubscribing has an offside. Whoa. Do you know what? You don't need to unsubscribe. You'll not be seen again. There you go. Unsubscribe all you want. I'm only speaking the truth. Well, come on, subscribing. Middlesbrough are looking for a new manager tomorrow. Well, there you go. Middlesbrough are going to be looking for a new manager tomorrow, as a text I've just had. I've got 1% missing. 209 votes. I love it when folks say, I'm unsubscribing for you. I don't care. I don't care. Do you know what? I know how many views I've done this month. Do you know this is what I laugh at, right? I'm unsubscribing. I don't like the way that you're talking about Celtic. Um, Now, this isn't boasting, this is fact. In the last 28 days, I've done 572,000 votes, over half a million views. Sorry, half a million views, 752,841 views in a month. I think I'm going to be worried about one person going, I'm unsubscribing for your channel. Subscribers don't make views. I'm sorry. Do you know what I mean? You don't need to announce that you're leaving. You don't need to announce that you're leaving. Over half a million views a month on the channel. Do you know what I mean? Anyway, I don't care about it. And Ali Boy 8888, I wonder what he said. Let's just put on a time as well. Oh, it'll be good to see how many we got. They were still on the same subscriber, 18,384. He probably wasn't a subscriber anyway. It's amazing how many folk think they're actually subscribed to the channel. Anyway, I don't care. I don't care. It's just a number, and numbers are irrelevant. Views are what counts. And having over 500, half a million views in this month, in the last 28 days. I'm aiming for 600,000 views this month in August. So there you go. We will go unbeaten this season, says Chilpill. Yep, we might go unbeaten this season, but we'll wait and see. Scotty Boy says we will struggle if we don't get if we get certain injuries bad to a couple of good players for every position. Yes, exactly. If we get an injury to Kyogo, do you think that Adam Ida is going to score 30 goals this season? Let's be realistic there. We don't have a third choice keeper, which Brendan Rodgers wanted. Remember, Brendan Rodgers stood at the beginning of the transfer window and said, I want to bring in 2 strikers this transfer window. Anyway, we move on for that. For those wanting to see Jota, well, they need to go to France. He's just signed for Reds. Eight is 8 very hard games. Yep. Let's see what has the PLC put the treble at risk. 65% said yes, and 36% said no. 36% said no, and we've actually gained a subscriber. I'm unsubscribing. I'm unsubscribing. Scoreless. Let's get rid of that off the screen. You watch the subscriber couldn't go down, you fucking wanker. You just talk shite all the time and complain about Celtic. I want to talk to somebody that's positive. I want to listen to all the good stuff and the rosy stuff and the journalistic point of view. Anyway, Desmond Donald says, I wonder if the board will pull out at the end of the career marquee signing. Yeah, marquee signings, Jesus. Right, I'm going to finish this poll. We've been on for 52 minutes. I'm going to finish this poll. I want to get to 300 votes. There's 679 people on. There's been over 3,000. This is what I laugh at when somebody says, I'm going to unsubscribe. There's been over 3,182 people watched this video. 3,182 people have watched this video this evening so far. Sky Bet don't even give odds for the treble, never mind unbeaten. DD is a con man. Marquee signing, what is that? What's his name? Well, Lorna Gallagher, yeah, cool, daddy. It's not his fault it took so long. Scotty Boy says 500,000 baz is fantastic for the channel and for the one Celtic fans view Celtic Sports Club. Exactly, Scotty Boy. I mean, I'll do a video at the end of the month. We have had over, as it stands, just to date, we've had 572,841 views this month. No, that's 28 days. Let's go to August. So we've had 530,000 views this month alone. 530,023 views this month alone. We've had over, listen to this, we've had over 50,000 hours. 50,000 hours of watch time. 50,000 hours. That's bound to be more than Coronation Street. And we've had 529 subscribers this month. 50,000 hours of watch time in August alone. And we've still got a few days to the end of the month. 4 days, 5 days including today. The target was 600,000 views this month. And I'm well on target to get that 600,000 views. So anyway, Chris Ross has come to the One Celtic Fans View. Welcome to you, Chris. Stephen says, Baz, it's just a number. Numbers don't matter. I'm in for 600,000 views in the same breath. No, subscribers don't matter. I have a target every month that I want to hit with views. Completely different. Completely different. Welcome to the family, Chris Ross. Welcome to the One Celtic Fans View member. It's like Sky Bet offering Celtic to sign a player. Yeah. Anyway, let's jump back into any breaking Celtic news. There's none, is there? Because let's face it, Matt O'Reilly suffers Brighton debut disaster as £26 million signing is crocked just after 9 minutes. Sorry, not sorry, but anyway. And why are all the Celtic sites? Loads of Celtic sites are running with Matt O'Reilly stories. He's moved on. Leave him to it. Jerry, absolute guilt tonight. Anyway, it is 21:57 here in Spain. It is 20:57 in the UK at Celtic part-time. And oh look, the subscriber count has went up to 18,388 subscribers. This went up on the live as we speak, and we're trying to get to 18,500 before Friday. And I hope that Friday is a fantastic day for Celtic. And I hope the rest of the week brings us nothing but joy. But tonight is all about being realistic, and it's been about being realistic on what has actually happened. And if you don't like the truth, maybe this isn't the channel for you. And I'll be perfectly honest. But if you like to speak the actual truth about what has actually happened, factual things that have happened, the fact that Brendan Rodgers spoke so highly about his expectations during this transfer window, and I think Brendan Rodgers must be feeling let down deeply. Let's be honest, because I know that a lot of Celtic fans feel the exact same way. And I know that 18,388 people can't be wrong. And the fact that we're getting absolutely fantastic numbers for this channel tells me that we can't be doing something wrong. Anyway, we're going to end the poll. I want to get to 300 votes for this poll. We need 4 people to vote. We're going to be fair. I need 4 people to vote. I need 3 people to vote to get to the 300. We're going to try and end it on a round number tonight. 299. I need 1 person to vote. 299. I need 1 person to vote on the poll. 65% say yes. 301, for God's sake, man, we missed by 1. We've ended the poll. Has the PLC put the treble at risk this season? 64% say yes under current standings. 35% said no. 35% said no, they haven't put it. Sky Bet are offering 101 for Celtic to sign Mikey Johnson next season. It's a late message. Brighton come out for real. Oh, don't say that. Engels is worth 11 million. Celtic over 11. It's a fucking disgrace. Oh, Camilla Harris? Who's she? Isn't she going for president? Another same old year, same old story, says hail, hail the boys. Sugarman says we can go ballistic when the window closes. Let's keep the heat for now. Sugarman, my rant tonight was only reiterating something that I mentioned 2 months ago. And that is all. And I think with the decreasing days that we have in the transfer window, sometimes someone has to speak up and someone has to tell it like it is. And if we think that all's rosy in the garden just because we win a game this Sunday, that's no longer acceptable to the Celtic fans. Just being just good enough and just ahead of them is no longer acceptable at Celtic. Going into the Champions League is where we need to be on a yearly basis. Hoarding cash so that we have money if we don't make the Champions League next year is the board letting us down. The board have had more than enough time this summer to bring in reinforcements to make the team better, not just for this season, but to make sure that we qualify for the Champions League next season. So we get that guaranteed 50 million next season. 25 million in the door just now is all nice and dandy. But getting 50 million next season and 50 million in the season after that from the Champions League is going to be worth a lot more to Celtic. The prestige that comes with playing in the Champions League and the prestige that Celtic would get from actually competing and getting more than 4 points would be absolutely phenomenal. The money that you get for every goal that's scored, something that we've lacked. The money that you get for every win would pump up that money. Sometimes it's hard being a Celtic fan because we want so much. We want to progress more than what we have and what we currently are. Domination of the SPFL is the board's main objective. Domination of Scottish football for the board is the main objective. Domination outside Scotland is a pipe dream. Pipe dream and something of a bygone era. And whilst we all celebrate and we all love what the team in 1967 achieved, since 2003, we've achieved absolutely nada. Absolutely nada. But it's okay. Everything will be fine. Peter Lawwell's told us all to calm down. And on that note, with over 3,497 people having watched the video tonight, there are currently 625 people on the live at the moment, with only over 267 thumbs up for the video tonight and 2 new members to the channel. It's been an absolutely fantastic evening. And I hope everything will be okay. And I hope that we will be a lot cheerier come the end of the week, because we've got a big game at the weekend. And there'll be nothing better than Hunskelpin to cover up the pain of the transfer window. No matter what happens in the rest of the transfer window, no matter what players that we get in, let's be honest, it's not been fucking good, is it? Anyway, on that note, have an absolutely fantastic evening. Scotty Boy says, thanks for the great channel and laughs tonight. Fantastic, Baz. Giving it straight. Hail from Cownbeath. What position does he play? Says, oh boy. The Flying Haggis says, what's the total yearly cost for someone to go to home and away in the European games? It must be thousands upon thousands. The Flying Haggis, in 1 year, as a Celtic fan, travelling home and away every game, I spent £10,000. And that was in 2018. £10,000 following Celtic. And folk want me to shut the fuck up and hold the beast. Anyway, on that note, have a fantastic evening. Stephen, big shout out to Stephen. I know that he still watches, and he is one of our amazing One Celtic fans views. Have a fantastic evening. I'm going to be a lot cheerier tomorrow because hope Celtic will have signed a few players. And on that note, thank you to the 88 subscribers. The subscriber count has went up towards the end of the video. Anyway,